We are, as concerned citizens of our country, we are aware of the serious damage done to our beautiful islands, particularly Carriacou and Petite, and the northern part of our country where the farming community has been decimated. We've decided that we have to do what we can within our limited resources as an organization. And a team of us decided that we have been receiving calls from friends and well-wishers abroad and regionally and offering help. And we decided, let's, whatever you have, give it to us. Let us be able to share with the people of Carriacou and Petite in particular, because that's where most of the damages occur. So we decided that, look, we have to do what we can. We can't just come to Carriacou and Petite and just visit. We felt it was necessary to, while we come here, we bring something to show that there is some relief in what we are doing. So we have taken the initiative with the wheels, food on wheels. As you know, we have had the soup kitchen opened with a lot of volunteers from Carriacou who have been receiving serious help from people all over the country, Grenada, Carriacou and Petite, and they have been distributing hot lunches around the country. Not as much as we would like to do, but certainly has alleviated a lot of problems. And we have also recognized that with the devastation that has occurred in both Carriacou and Petite, we feel that we know that there will be a serious problem with the issue of health and hygiene, and therefore we have been able to acquire some portable toilets, which should be up this evening to aid that problem. And as you can see, our former Minister of Health is here, and of course the doctor, she will speak to that. But we recognize that that is important. We also, in being able to tour the different areas, we saw the problems of the housing stock in the country, particularly here in Carriacou and Petite, and therefore we felt it was necessary to do what we can and to voice whatever concerns that we have to aid some resolution to the problems that we see. So we really believe that we're calling on the government to allow the citizens who are badly in housing, with serious housing problems, to be able to at least to temporarily be housed in the Chinese housing project that is in Carriacou, that be able to relieve the problem of housing in this area. So there are issues here that we certainly have. There are solutions and ideas that we certainly would like to advance to aid. But the whole point is, we believe this is a time not to attempt to score cheap political points. We believe that this is a time for us to offer solutions and to work together. As I visited Petite, I could see the warmth of the people there and to see the collective work being done by all sectors of Petite. I would like to see that throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite.
Thank you to Dr. Mitchell and the rest of our colleagues, parliamentary colleagues, for taking the time off to be. Let me just say thank you to Dr. Mitchell and our colleagues for taking the time off to be in Carriacou and also to visit Petite here today. As you know, about 10 days ago we had one of maybe the most storm hitting Carriacou and Petite, creating a lot of negative impact for our residents, and a lot of persons are traumatized, and a lot of persons have significant losses. We do have persons who lost loved ones, and for that we want to extend condolences to persons who would have lost loved ones. This is a very difficult time for both Carriacou and Petite in particular, and this calls for serious togetherness for us to get through this process. This is going to be a challenging road going ahead. While we are very happy with the amount of support that we're receiving now from all the organizations, the donors who are sending stuff, bringing stuff, we are very pleased about that, and we want to thank them. We are very grateful for the support. I want to single out the Samaritan's Bus. I think that have been very responsive on the ground, especially the initiative with the clean water. I think that is quite outstanding, and so I want to thank them for the initiative and also the field hospital. So they're doing a wonderful job. In terms of Petite, we just came from there. Petite is hard hit, and I want to thank the team there. I think they are doing an excellent job. They are working in Petite. I think we can take a page from Petite, how they operate in Petite. If we do that, I think we can have a better response here in Carriacou once we follow Petite page. One of the things that they have been calling for in Petite is for a pickup vehicle on island. I think they're asking for a next one urgently, and so we're asking the authorities if they can urgently get that vehicle over to Petite so that can help with the delivery of supplies and relief stuff for persons. So it's an urgent need. I know that discussions were had before regarding it, so they need that urgently. In Carriacou, we had several reports of persons not being able to access supplies. I don't have all the details on what is really happening, but it's something of concern. And as we indicated that we are doing our part as a party, we're doing our part as a citizen. So we have our Meals on Wheels initiative, and we have our washroom, portable toilets initiative to kick off soon because they're coming up tonight on the boat. So far, for the last 3 days, we have been giving out hot meals, and the impact has been very positive, and we hope to extend and improve on it. So we're asking persons who wish to donate, they can donate towards that hot meal initiative to ensure that persons do get that support going forward. One of the things that we also have some challenge with, which I am also doing personally from my business in terms of medication. So medication for hypertension, medication for diabetes, asthmatic patients. We are saying that persons who want to donate, they can donate cash, and then the medication will be done by a voucher system where persons in the shelters and persons in the villages can get their medication on time, so that we know the challenge that we have is that most times after storms, we have increase in mortality after the passage of storms. So we're trying to minimize that, ensure persons, and Dr. Morales will speak more to that, the importance of the health aspect of it. And so we're trying to do that initiative to ensure that we reach persons in that regard. So we are very, very appreciative of the support. Again, I want to emphasize that and to let you know that as a party, myself and everybody here in Carriacou, we are doing everything we can to reach out and to help persons during this difficult period. It's a long road, and the toughest part is yet to come. And so we just want to ensure that we do get the support that we need. I just wanted to really ask Doc, and if you can do so, we see other initiatives in other countries who have the same experience, that these conditional concessions, we ask that it should not be conditional. Barrels coming to Carriacou and other supply materials coming to Carriacou should be duty-free, point blank. We need that. The number of persons who lost their vehicles from the passage of the storm, if they were to procure a vehicle, there ought to be some relief for persons to replace the vehicle during this particular time as well. So those are some things that we need to consider going forward. A number of businesses are impacted, and so we want the government to really come on the ground and gather some information. But right now we need, in particular, barrels, foodstuff, to be duty-free without no condition. I think that is something that Carriacouans are going to be very appreciative of.
Thank you, Brother First, and Dr. Mitchell, somebody else. I want to echo the sentiments expressed by Dr. Mitchell and my brother Cox in terms of the need to come together and to work together in this initiative. In addition to that, we've had the experience of Hurricane Ivan before. There are things that were done, there are people who have experienced it, ideas that can be implemented. It means, therefore, that all of us should try to get on board, and everybody should try to work together. One of the things I want to say is that, it's in the news now. Next couple of weeks it will go out the news, but people will still be left with this devastation. So I want to urge the government, urge all the international organizations to do all they can to sustain this over a period. I don't see us finding solutions to all of this within weeks. It's going to take a couple of years, but we know Hurricane Ivan, how difficult it was. So I urge that we all work together to try to find solutions. Now, one of the things that happens is the question of people pricing people out of fixing. I think we should look at some kind of controls. For example, Hurricane Ivan, everybody becomes a contractor and everybody is going out and people are charging people and work is not being done. The government must keep a watchful eye so that people are not taken advantage of in this crisis. So I urge again, I'll be short, I urge all of us to work together. I was absolutely astonished by the level of devastation. I mean, it's unbelievable. And as my brother Cox said when we landed, the news media, the pictures do not really reflect what is happening on the ground. It is absolutely devastating what has happened, and I urge all of us to do everything we can to work with the people of Carriacou and Petite. I urge the people of Carriacou and Petite to all to come together to help build back. And we need to move on this urge, and the government needs to work with the opposition with the government, the community groups, everybody work together so that we can get people back in their homes. Imagine the psychological trauma that has been caused. Thank God it came in a day, but in the night there have been much more loss of life in this country. But again, let's work together to build back Carriacou and Petite.
Our political leader and my two colleagues have said quite a bit, but I just needed to add maybe one or two other aspects of it. It has been a really gratifying visit, not because it brought pleasure, but it gave us an understanding of what is on the ground. And as Brother Cox said and as Brother Peter echoed, the photos do not do justice to the extent of the damage that is here. And so we understand, and while we came up with a firm commitment to assist, I think we are even more committed than ever. And it gave us an opportunity to see persons carry out certain duties. And I want to echo what Brother Cox said, the Samaritan purse, and the other persons who are in shelters, particularly in Petite Martinique. The way they have been serving so effectively and efficiently our people, I think it warrants commendations from all of us in the Tri-Island state. I was pleased to see one of the psychologists on the ground, counselors, because Dr. Chaitan, because looking at the extent of the damage, we know that people would be traumatized emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise, and would need that kind of support. I heard about a person who came from abroad, and when she saw the extent of the damage, she just collapsed. And we know it will take a while, and we know the situation is really, really, really serious at this time. So all kinds of support is needed. The emotional and psychological, which Dr. Chaitan is doing, I wish he would get some more support to do that, because everybody is traumatized at this time. The hot meals, I really want to commend the New National Party, not because they're my party, but for thinking about a hot meal, one hot meal per day. Because as you watch the condition of the houses that are completely demolished, we know that some people will not be able to prepare a hot meal from their homes, and so at least one hot meal per day is being served. And the ladies want to go the extra mile. They started off with lunch, now they're talking about breakfast, because the demand is there and they're willing to satisfy. So we were happy to be able to bring up some supplies donated by various friends and others who saw the need. We were able to do that. I was happy to see the field hospital of the Samaritan Purse. And we also visited the clinic, and while I know everybody there is devastated in some way, people are being overworked at this time, not deliberately, but because of the necessity to do that. And everyone was in high spirits to do whatever they could. And so we got a sense of what people need, so that we do not waste efforts in needless pursuits, but that whatever we do must bring some measure of relief to the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And we are going to continue to do that and to work with others to provide that kind of support. We've started our networking. and we are committed to doing just that. I just want to add though that on the mainland, while most of the houses are intact, the farmers have been dealt a severe blow again after being hit by Hurricane Ivan. And I saw some of them over the days, the previous days gone, and I know some of them, they feel hopeless. And I hope that the government will do something, will work with external agencies, will use some of the billions they got from the CBI and other sources to ensure that our farmers are being given serious consideration, just like other people are given consideration. So I just want to say to the people of Petite, Martinique and Carriacou who have been most hard hit, don't give up hope. Be strong. You have a lot of allies looking out for you, rooting for you. NNP is there, but we are so happy that other people in the island have been giving so much, other people regionally and internationally, and together we can all make it work so that the relief will continue to be sustained and will be as prolonged as it needs to be, and that by the next time we visit, we will not see so many blue roofs, but we will see the impact of, how shall I say it, adequate repairs being done on houses. The people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, we salute you. We salute your efforts, and we are ready to work with everyone who has stretched their hands and to work with them to bring that relief that you so badly needed at this present time.
As a final point to this short brief that we're doing here, I think Brother Peter mentioned one thing which I think is crucial. He mentioned the fact that the new National Party in government experienced a major disaster in 2004, where the mainland itself was tremendously destroyed on all aspects. So, and people were amazed that we were able to recover our country in short period of, in 2 years. When people returned to Grenada, they were shocked at the level of recovery that we had. In other words, we're saying we have the experience, we have the personnel, and we are reiterating our call again today that we are prepared to work with those in authority, but that is the government's leadership responsibility. We cannot lead in the point where the people have given the government the responsibility to manage the affairs of the country. So we are saying we are ready and willing. And we want to offer just some simple advice in some areas. For example, Jamaica has already now invoked the Caribbean Catastrophic Risk Insurance. That came about after Grenada's major disaster. And they are now getting billions of Jamaican dollars to recovery. We are in the right position in Grenada. I'm sure the conditions we have met that have occurred in Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and in Grenada and the farming community would qualify us. So I think the government needs to move fast, and if they need help from us, we're certainly willing to do so. Remember also, we did mention the fact that we had a special clause after Ivan, that where we say we call it the hurricane clause in every disaster that occurred. Barbados invoked that clause when they were renegotiating their debt relief with the international community, whereby it means if you have a disaster, you get the suspension of all debt payments, because it is recognized that whatever resources you have to spend it in terms of doing relief and helping the people to recover. Another aspect of this, we believe that given the farming community, as Sister Clarice mentioned, we think the government needs to move quickly to provide resources to the farming community, because that's how they live, to help them at least to deal with the pain of having no resources at this time. Most of them are not working on any other job, so they have to feed their families. They need, in other words, the small business loan which was established after Ivan. We think they should come forward with that as quickly as possible. We also believe the decision of the government, while they may have thought that that was the best thing to do at the time, this situation is also saying that we need to look at that decision that we made to reduce the contingency fund from 40% to 10%. We believe the government should go back to Parliament or even if they don't go back, I think it's a decision that the government can take, as the government in office and the opposition will support, to go back to 40% of the CBI resources. Had they done this, we'd have millions of dollars more to deal with the present problem that we are facing in the country. I believe also there must be tax relief, property tax relief for the farming, for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, because they have lost all their houses and property. So I don't think we should talk about taxing people with their property at this time. I also firmly believe that we need to look at some form of support to the fishing industry, who also have, many of the fishermen have lost their boats during this period. So I think they need to do that. And there are a number of other things I believe the government, due time and due course, we will outline more and more as the days go by. But we are calling on the government, please. We are offering our help. Let's do this together. I was so pleased, and Mr. Clarice mentioned it, when I saw what is happening in Petite Martinique. I believe, and Brother Cox, you're right.
Yeah, take a page.
I think we need to take a page from what we saw in Petite Martinique. I saw strong supporters of the New National Party, and it were working with NADMA in Petite Martinique. I saw strong supporters of the NDC, and I saw a unified effort in Petite Martinique. Yeah. I cannot say I saw that in Carriacou, but the Cox is more qualified to speak to that than I can, and I certainly have not seen that effort in Grenada and the mainland. But let's do this together. Let's put the parties and politics aside. We have enough time to deal with parties and politics. We'll go back to that at the due course, but let us unite ourselves. And I also want to thank my colleagues, because at the spur of the moment, we have made up that decision after receiving help and support from community. We brought up a lot of supplies for the people to use. We didn't want to come here and just take some photo and disappear. We didn't think that was appropriate. I want to thank Sister Clarice, Brother Peter, and of course our man on the ground. I know it cannot be easy for him to have to face this. I know how I felt after Ivan hit Grenada, and you felt lost psychologically and otherwise. So I look forward to initiative on the government part. Let's come together and let's solve this problem, and let's help the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Thank you.